you cannot fail when you explore because you don't know where you're going.
Yes,
Everything will be a first time for you.
Every inhale is a blessing.
Exhaling is healing. You control your breath, you control your emotions.
Yeah.
You control your emotions, you control your decision. You control your decision, you control your life. There is no safety, so there is no balance, there is no equilibrium, except the one that you create in your mind. Free mind is a mind who has no attachment. If you attach to details, to words, to behavior, to expectation, then your life will be quite difficult to manage. The more you explore, discover, the more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you have first times as well.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Many Firsts, the podcast where we explore the power of first-time experiences and share transformative and inspirational moments in our lives. I'm your host, Regula Fischer, and I'm super excited and grateful to be here today live in the studio with Allaoua Gaham. Welcome, Allaoua.
Namaste. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I believe I have many firsts, so I'm excited to...
I'm very curious to hear. And just as a quick introduction about you, you are a yoga master, a self-defense expert, and a YogiPreneur. But you didn't start your career on the mat. You earned yourself 2 MBAs, I think. Lived in, originally you're from France,
Paris,
then lived in the US.
Yes.
And then in China, and eventually in the UAE.
Yes.
And you were in the corporate world for a while, in the fashion industry, and then at some point decided to follow your true calling, which is empowering people on their wellness journey.
Very correct.
So, very warm welcome. Many firsts. First of all, your day today. Has there been a first already?
Yeah, it's first time here, so I'm very happy. Thank you for having me. And everything you say is very correct. And just add more thing. I still feel there is more than one first time, because even if I started my journey now like 9 years ago now as a yoga master instructor and have this mission of empowering people, I still feel I'm still at the beginning of something. So I feel like there's new first coming the way as well. So it's very strong idea of, bringing all the first time, as many first times, and it's never stop, because we don't know what's going to be the next my first time or my first experience. So very happy to be here to share with you guys.
I love that. And that energy, that knowing there will be more first, right? And be open. You seem to be like, okay, bring them on. Is that how you feel?
Yeah. This is honestly, I'm turning 40 in 10 days now.
Oh, you're also in February. Days. My previous guest was also.
Yeah, very good. No, so I'm from February.
And the studio manager is also.
Yeah, I see. No, February, I love people somehow. And so it's going to be my first time at 40.
Exactly. I like that.
It's I can feel these central ideas of mine since a couple of maybe months, week, that every morning it's a new first. So I feel like every morning is a new beginning. And I kind of feeling even more now that I am on my sun setting, kind of like, I don't know, sun rising, so now the sun is going up. So it even more important now to focus on every day you have a new chance to do something, to learn something, to meet people. So it feels like it's a new beginning somehow,
It's very nice. I like that. And turning 40, how are you going to celebrate? Do you celebrate birthdays, your birthday? There's some people who don't.
I'm not very good. No. Even with my wife and kids and family, I forget birthdays. I'm not good with temporality.
Yeah.
Even sometimes in some podcasts, they ask me, so what year did you do that? Yes. Honestly, especially being a yogi now, I value the present moment. I kind of leave everything in the past. Of course, I remember, I have memories, try not to have regrets. But my point is that I'm never very good with temporality. So I don't even feel I'm 40. So celebrating, for me, is not a major thing. A lot of people told me we should celebrate. I'm like, why? It's just going to be another day. But no, I don't have any plan. I was actually thinking if I want to make something a bit different than just having a party with friends at dinner. I was thinking, and this is the first one to hear that because I didn't share yet, maybe to drive to Ras Al Khaimah on Friday night or Sunday, because it's going to be Saturday early morning, like 2-3 a.m. and do a hiking to manage to arrive to the top of the mountain, Jabal Jais, maybe at the sunrise. Kind of, having a new day coming in the first day of my 40s. So I don't know if I'll do it. This is my kind of plan for now.
I will check in on that, but definitely an idea. I would also love, to go hiking and sunrise, and it's always
something
magical,
different,
right?
With some friends, whoever can wake up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. But no, to answer your question, I don't have strict plans at all.
Is that maybe also because you live in the present so much that you plan less than maybe in the past, or who is that?
Yeah, I think yes. You see, I didn't realize, but future for all of us, it's anxiety. If you really want to think about it, it's something I developed already in many podcasts, so I don't want to be redundant, but depression for yogis is when your mind is stuck in the past. So you have regrets, you are powerless because you cannot change whatever happened. So you just have to deal with the consequences of your choices. So that creates sadness. And a long state of sadness can lead to depression, right? Mm-hmm. In the other hand, if your mind is not in the past, but in the future, then you're going to start anticipating on things that didn't happen yet. You're going to live into illusion, fantasies, projection of emotions. This will create, these uncertainties will create fears, and eventually fears will turn into anxiety. So you're going to be scared of what's going to happen. I kind of feel that the brain always go towards the negative. I don't know if it's my brain or human brain in general, but I don't know anyone, for example, who say, tomorrow I'm going to be so rich and so healthy, I'm not going to die, and everything will be perfect. We tend to think about, I have to pay this at the end of the month, and then I have to deal with this person, and I have to do that, Kind of, the more you project yourself, the more you actually feed this fear, this scariness, and at the end of the day, so really, really, and it's funny because I'm actually maybe just becoming a yogi now. It's very recent. I'm really now focusing on what's happening today. A little bit planning what I'm going to do tomorrow. I don't even project that far, like next week. I'm trying. I have of course objective goals, plans, like everyone, but I'm trying not to imagine what's going to happen. The more and more I'm trying to let come. So maybe on Saturday or Friday night, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going tomorrow. A few hours, I'm going to sleep a few hours, and take my car, just drive there. So I'm really want to stay away from stress and stay away from anxiety. And I guess that's the best method to just be now here,
And you also mentioned, the sense of calmness, and at the same time, not imagining what might happen in the future. And still, I think imagination is a powerful tool of the mind, because it can also be used to create, right? In a good way. Would you, is that an experience you have as well? For example, with these FIRSTS, you have created different things, right? If we look back, okay, in maybe in fashion, then other things you develop. I think you have your own postures, also yoga postures.
Yeah,
so these probably came out of imagining something. I don't know, is that?
Yeah, imagination is not bad. It's like how you react towards it. You see, as a yogi, deeply, we think there's no good, there's no bad. There is. And it's your perspective, how you position yourself to the reality. So same thing with imagination. How do you will you use this to manifest, create abundance, visualize something positive? I encourage everyone to do it because it will really help keep your mood up, and maybe your manifestation will work. So it's good, I'm very impressed by Ronaldo, the soccer player, football player. He's 40, I think, we have the same age. I think he won everything you could possibly want. You're the richer guy. You have the most follower, like more than any other celebrities on Instagram, on TikTok. He was like, from what I understand, not allowed to open his YouTube channel until now, because they need to find a deal with YouTube, not for his account to be organically monetized, because it will have just blow the platform. Yeah. And it happened. He created in like a week, he had like 100 million. So if you consider, and okay, now let's go on the private side. He's married, because see, like success can have different, clothes, like some people really see the professional, the personal. He's kind of successful everywhere, like he's wealthy, he's healthy, he's a role model for everyone, He's 40, he looks 20. I mean, like, what can he do more, this guy, you know? Still, he played in Saudi after playing into the best club in the world. And Saudi is improving, but nothing compared to Real Madrid. The pressure that it's like the elite of the elite, you know? Still, so we can consider maybe he can retire now play. No, every game he played like it's the last game. He's actually playing like it's his first game, you know? He kind of feel that he's always the, you know? I saw him last time, like 2 months ago. He came for like an award in Dubai. He looks happy, he looks fit, he looks at the present moment, and still every free kick that he shoots during a game, even if it's not like the World Cup, he's still talking to himself. He's like, you can read his lips. He's like, he look at the ball, he look at the goal. The goalkeeper is like, you can do it. You're the best. You're going to make it. Do it. Because you know where to shoot. You know, and I found this absolute inspiring. You know, this resilience and this discipline after, you know, what is the objective? You know, still, he doesn't do it to be rich. He doesn't do it to be famous. He doesn't, I mean, he has that. He does it because he's into this mindset. And that's what it's so. Of course, visualizing is super important. That's why I want to give this example, because he visualizes his goal every time he shoots, you know. I had many first times, and first time in my life, so first time for me, but also first time in the industry. So I was the first YogiPreneur in Dubai. So the first yoga instructor, yoga master later, who actually is an entrepreneur. You know, I have many companies who organize events. So I treated my yoga career as a brand. For me, Allaoua Yoga is a different entity from me. I am Allaoua Gaham, and Allaoua Yoga it's a brand that provide the best yoga classes possible, that really trying to come up with like the craziest events and try to impact the community. My objective is to make people feel happier, healthier, more balanced through yoga, but through also many things. You know, the show is important because the music, the dance, people are having a good time. I broke a Guinness World Record. I mean, there's so many things I did for the first time. I came to Dubai 18 years ago for the first time, and I was one of the first ones, especially in my industry. I think we were the first kids clothes designers in Dubai when we created the brand. Now everyone is doing it, but back in the days it was something very unusual. See, kids had very few options. They were going like Gap or H&M and very best, but having a designer clothes for kids, I believe we don't know if we were the first one worldwide, but we were one of the first one. It was something absolutely unique. So yeah, I think it's my personality. I like to be, I know I'm talking a lot, but this is interesting, especially for your podcast and for the people who's listening to us. For many years, for a long time, I thought I was a leader. You know, I was like, I'm a leader. I like to take opportunities and And recently, I've met a face reader, someone who can kind of give you some personality or character line through your face, through your nose, your eyes, whatever. And according to him, according to my face, I'm a pioneer. So I'm not a leader. I mean, even if I have probably some leadership skills and interests, but I am a pioneer. And that's why when we speak about first time, I guess I had many first times, you know, because I went there. I didn't, after my MBA, I traveled here when here was not the sexiest place, like 18 years ago. It was a challenge, you know. I was one of the pioneer here in the cosmetic industry, then in the fashion industry, then in the yoga industry. Now I'm more into the well-being in general, yoga being just one element of what I'm focusing on now, but motivational speaker. I design program for different entities, so really holistic health, but without the spirituality, I would say. I really focus on biomechanics, almost the medical aspect of yoga, how you can improve your anatomical strengths, your kinetic chain, your biomechanics, but at the same time, how you can handle your fascia, your nervous system, your endocrine system, your emotion, your mind, your brain. So this is really what I'm striving towards. And I guess it's one of the first time as well to put all these elements together. What I've learned with the FIRSTS, you know, Special Forces, what I've learned from my yoga journey to empower people into the highest level of mindset, of emotional balance, and physical performance, or physical strength. Voilà, I stopped speaking, sorry.
No, that's totally fine. I love it. It's it makes me think of Cristiano Ronaldo again, what you're saying right now. So the top performance in mind and body, right? So, but I think when it comes to performance and or success, I think that there's also, I heard you once say that success is basically, the performance is not what should be success is not, how do you say that? Performance is basically, it's more like exploring is what is the state, and not this kind of focused too rigidly on success, right? But
Correct,
rather be exploring, be in an explorative mindset.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you said very well, this is basically what was the main change. Before I was looking at life in terms of performance, you know, and since I get my switch, I'm becoming a yogi, I'm looking at life in terms of explorations. And the difference is like, you cannot fail when you explore because you don't know where you're going.
And you create first times.
Exactly. You create only first times. Everything will be a first time for you. When you perform, you're only redundant and prepare yourself to fail, because who say performance say expectations. And if you don't reach your full expectation, then you're going to suffer. So failure cannot happen if you don't have expectation, basically. If you expect something, you prepare yourself for failure, because I don't think anyone in life have exactly what they expect, or very rarely. So the more you expect, the more you prepare yourself to manage failure. The less you expect anything, so the more you explore, discover, genuinely welcome whatever comes to your life, the more you are successful, the more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you have first times as well.
I love that. And it's basically like an expectation sounds again like what you described before, that we're projecting into the future, right? Like and then if it's not what we had in mind, then
you are the one who has to deal with this after.
No.
It's like you have a bill, you expect 100, you get 99, you're going to be focused on the one that you didn't get. And this is going to make you obsessed with failure. If you expect 0, you get 0.1, you'll be so happy.
You'll be like, at least there's something.
So you have to manage your own mind. Don't expect anything. You cannot be sad. You'll be very happy with anything. So grateful. Very important to be grateful. Nothing is granted. See, I had this conversation with my student. I mean, I want to feel secure. I said, bro, man, you never be secure. Who is secure today? Even Elon Musk is like he will probably be the first 3 billionaire. I don't know. Tomorrow, if Tesla, boom, if he support the wrong candidate, or I mean, everyone is online. How many billionaires lost everything? They end up into jail. They have billions they cannot use. There's nothing guaranteed and nothing safe in life. The only safe place in life is inside your mind. You made your life safe because your mind is strong. The rest, it's life fluctuation. Someday you'll be more comfortable, someday you'll be less comfortable. You have more, someday you have less. Doesn't really matter. Your mind will always stay safe. If you link your safety feeling to the reality of life, there's going to be a lot of things to manage, a lot of things, a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, you will be absolutely destroyed. So if you understand that there is no safety, so there is no balance, there is no equilibrium, except the one that you create in your mind and, make happen. So manifest, not like manifest, but manifest, like make it happen. I would say not manifest, but materialize. So you decide what you materialize, then this is safe. Anything else, your health is not guaranteed. Absolutely not. Your wealth, even more. See? So it's in the mind.
It sounds like that's more rigid, right? Wanting stability is like holding on to things. It sounds a bit like that. So it's the opposite of exploring and being open.
Yeah. But the first sutra of yoga, the very first one is yoga now. So which means a lot. This is just few words. It means a lot. It means yoga is present moment. You are yoga, so you have to be now. Yoga means unity. So the unity is the present moment. There's a lot of things, but that's the first one. The second one, if I'm not mistaken, or perhaps the third one, but I believe the second one is the non-attachment. The the more you attach yourself to reality, to people, to material, the more you suffer. A free mind is a mind who has no attachment. It doesn't mean that you should not love your wife, your kids, because this is the first question. I love it. Yeah, love, it's an emotion. You can love with no attachment. The day you find this balance, nothing and no one can do anything to you anymore. You are just free. The real freedom of mind is not to get attached. If you attach to details, to words, to behavior, to expectation, then your life will be quite difficult to manage.
Did that open up for you when you started the yoga journey? Or
It opened up yesterday, or even just now. You know, it's like it's not. It's a long journey, and I'm still don't even understand. This is my thought now today. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's keep on opening.
It's evolving.
Yeah, it's keep on evolving. It's keep on. So that's why there is no. The now is always in motion. You know. The mind can stay now here, but maybe when we're gonna go home and tomorrow after tomorrow, if the mind stays there, then the mind will be in the past. The only thing that follows the present moment, it's the aging of the body. The body age because every second, your cells, you know. So your soul as well, because your soul is kind of trapped into your body. So soul and body follow the present moment. That's why you need meditation to drag your mind, whatever it's in the back or in the future, or up or down, whatever, inside your body with your soul. And that's the real definition of yoga. Yoga, unity. Soul, mind, and body together at the present moment every time.
I love that. And is that, you were not aware of that in the past before you started on that journey? Or yeah?
I've learned that, but I didn't understand. It's like many things. You know, yoga, it's easy to learn, it's hard to understand. Like any smart science. Like, I'm thinking this is a quote from Systema, you know, the Russian martial art that I'm practicing. It's very easy it's very easy to learn. You don't need anything. You need your hands, your legs, you have the body already, your breath. But it's very long and hard to understand. Sometimes you do things you understand later. This is what's happening. Yeah. And understanding, it's evolving. Maybe in 3 years I'll say, oh no, I don't think the same thing. It's fine.
It is fine. We should talk again later.
Yeah, let's see if I change But it's pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah, because you already mentioned a bit of that. Because I was wondering, you had, and as the explorer you are, you had the time in the corporate world, as you said, cosmetics, fashion industry, yoga. And I wondered if it's, you know, if that's too much stability maybe at some point for you, would you want or need something new or different? But it seems like there's a constant evolution which just goes.
It's a very, very smart question because it's a matter of framework. When you work for a company or when you yourself an entrepreneur, you have frame. So there's a ceiling and you hit the ceiling very fast. You know? So then when you hit the ceiling, then you enter into routine.
Yeah. And
routine creates depression. Well, no, especially if you don't like if you love what you do, it's okay. I know a lot of people, they work in corporates. They don't really like the boss and because of the authority things. But what they do, they love it, you know. So every day they wake up, they're excited. Unfortunately, it's about maybe 5 or 10% of the people who work in corporate. The majority, at some point, they get burned. And that's why you have so much burnout. And so that's the framework. The difference now, I'm more like a freelance more than an entrepreneur now. So I don't work for anyone. I don't make anyone work for me, or not for like this relationship that an employee and the boss kind of have. So I have partners. I develop projects. So that's why it's limitless. I have no ceiling.
Yeah.
It's not just about yoga. Yoga also has no ceiling. Why? Because it's a component of human. So anything who's linked to human science, either you're a doctor, either you're a coach, either you help people developing themselves, there's no limit. There's really no limit. You see, I was have a conversation with Fischer, the CEO and the founder of Mind Valley, who have seen it all. Like all the, I mean, if you know what's Mind Valley, if you met all the biohacker, all the pioneer into and he's keep on looking for new now. He's big in AI and so it's a permanent, like, you know, things that keep on renewing. Yeah. So I've heard him say something that really agree with that. It's like the future now of industry. It's self-development, it's education, which was not, for example, a few years ago, because we can say the future is the petrol, like the petrol industry. Like before it was the future is like the aeronautic, the future. Now definitely future is AI, so tech. And so the robot basically and the human. It has to be both. So either if you educate people on how to connect with AI, how to make prompts, how to deal with robots that's coming in the near future, that's the future. Either you teach people how to connect with themselves, you know, and how not to go crazy with the phones, with the iPad. We have a huge amount of technology now that we didn't have even like 10 years ago. The smartphone 10 years ago, I mean, in my childhood, we're playing with mud and stick, and I mean, see now my kids, I try to keep them away from iPad, but I cannot. Otherwise, it will make them different from others. So we can just balance it. So, and this is for all the parents out there. Don't have any guilt, because I know a lot of people, they're trying to make them, you know. So the very first time for them to discover iPhone, iPad, it's okay. Just balance it. Don't make them addicted into the old style or into the modernity too much. Everything is matter of following the modernity in a balanced way. So you have to understand what you're doing. So it's not like iPads are good or bad. Once again, no good, no bad. It's how you use it. If you use it like 16 hours per day, it's probably don't expect your kids to have no problem. If you use it 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, only at certain time, if you limit, if you put a framework, it might be, you know, actually a very good tool for them to learn faster than what we had. We had to kind of figure it out. And it sounds intentional, right? Intentional and conscious, which is always, I mean, that's when it's when we can manage it and control it. Definitely. So that's why there's no framework. What I'm doing now, I feel is always the beginning of something, because I don't even know what I'm going to do in 2 years or whatever, even tomorrow basically. Yeah. And how do I need to envision that? So there's not a fix, like we couldn't say a day in the life of Allaoua. It doesn't, obviously the days are not the same because you have different projects, but I still think yoga is probably still part of your life. And is there like personal practice? How does that look for you? Have you done any yoga today? Today I did, yeah. I don't, my own practice, I put a little bit on pause. The physical practice, what we can understand by yoga. So I'm focusing more on meditation. I'm trying to meditate a bit more. And I'm still giving one-to-one session with what I call my special people, like people that are with me since many, many years, and I have this relationship with them. And it's not just yoga. I'm a man of many skills from all my education and from all my exploration, all my first times. You know? So I really can help them on different level, physical, emotional. So I'm like a mentor, I guess, now for many of them. And this is where I practice. So I practice meditation with them. I practice when I teach. When I teach meditation, I practice. When I do some stretching, I have one student, she's very strong, very advanced. So I'm doing vinyasa and warrior flow and handstand with her. One other student, she's more into, she's a CEO of huge groups, so she needs more focus. And because she's a woman, she has more challenges. She has to prove all the time. So we're working on managing emotions, you know, through all the journey of being a CEO when everyone wants your seat, basically. They have all different profile, high profile. I think I resonate with them somehow, maybe because I was an entrepreneur myself, and even if I was not a CEO like they are, but, you know, I mean, I've had a taste of it and I stopped it. So I kind of now help them how to manage. So yeah, my practice, it's through my teaching mainly now. And you mentioned you had a taste of it and you stopped it. And when you said in the beginning, you're living so much more in the present, and that's also something you practice, I was like, should we even talk about your past? Because maybe we don't want to go there. But just briefly, maybe the journey of being in the corporate world and leaving it. Did you ever, or do you sometimes think, oh, I could also go back? Or did you leave and you knew there's no way I will ever go back? And what happened exactly so that you felt, okay, got the taste, it's good, let me move on? I loved the project challenge. So every time we create a company, we create a new brand, the branding process, trying to send the brand out there and have the brand awareness, you know, like I really enjoy that. The problem is like at some point you start to have some sales, and then you start being dragged into the after sales and the supply chain and the logistic, and not the most exciting things.
You clearly are a pioneer.
Yeah.
You're the one to bring it out, to build it.
But honestly, that's why when I create my kid fashion brand, I really thought I was designing every day, create new collections and new range, and try to have this in different color. And this is how I was seeing myself. But I was actually paying the invoices, doing the visas, on the phone with the suppliers, on the phone with the distribution chain, with our clients. So it was not as sexy and creative that I was expected. I guess this is what burned me out, for the past 4 years. So to compensate that, I had a very active and hectic nightlife. I was going out with friends and party and drinking sometimes. I was smoking a lot. So I put my health on the side. My body rang the bell. So I had a heart attack at 31 years old. So that's how everything started. It was a pre-heart attack. So I stayed in ICU for 4 days. Major arrhythmia. Doctor were waiting for my heart either to stop, either to explode, either to whatever. But these 4 days was the switch, actually. See, this was like, okay, I'm successful, I'm making money, I'm a great brand, but now I'm spending more hours in a day solving problems and hating myself for that, and I don't do any sport. I'm disconnected. So I'm not married, and I have kids. All of this. This is the success I was expecting. I didn't expect it. So it was my first time in the hospital. Really, I'd never been.
Wow.
I was super healthy, running, and then the health dropped, and then boom, immediately. I haven't even went for flu or something. This was my really first time at the hospital in Dubai. So I was like, whoa. And that was a switch. So do I regret it? No. It was a blessing, really. Now I guess my heart is absolutely fine, maybe even stronger, definitely actually stronger than what it used to be. It gave a purpose to my life. I didn't have purpose before. I had money, I had ambition, I had projects, I had performance mindset. I didn't have purpose. See? That's the difference. It's like, I always value, this will be a little bit unconventional, but I have a lot of respect for the baker, the plumber, the job that actually, in French we say un métier, when you actually know how to do something. When you work in companies, sometimes you're very exchangeable and expandable. So a marketing director can be placed in any different company. If today he sells chocolate for a major group, tomorrow he can sell cartoons for another group and entertainment, and then he can... so the know-how that they have is fit in a box. But the farmers, all the old school people who actually create things, they have a work, they have skills. And this is what was missing. I was very good in marketing. I was very good at managing people, creating brand. I didn't do much, Now I'm teaching yoga. I'm good at teaching yoga. So I have now a work, I don't think there is a translation in English, but in French. So I know you're familiar with French. So we say un job, un métier.
Un métier, un métier, le métier.
Métier, it's what you know, what is it's frustrating. I don't find any word to actually explain this. It's your skill set.
It's a skill, yeah.
It's your purpose, basically. Métier in French, it can also somehow be translated by your purpose.
Yeah.
See, the baker, he bake bread every day, so he woke up every morning. He's doing something with his hand. He's creating something. I mean, at the end of the day, all the bread into the bakery, it's come from his hand. So when you do marketing, when you do finance, when you do, it's really...
It's all in the computer.
It's all in computer. It's all in the air, in bank accounts. It's all in marketing campaigns so people can see. So it's so I really have high respect of some of the jobs and work that are not really well promoted and actually fundamentals. I think it's important to know how to fix the leak inside your house and to build this, so to have carpentry skills. I don't want to lose that. I don't want my children to lose that, and really encourage people to understand that computer is one thing, but what I'm not one of these guys, but what if tomorrow there is a switch off of all computers, which kind of happens sometime. You know, like even I remember last year, all the plane has to stay in ground because they were not sure.
Yeah, there was a system. Yeah.
I mean, there is hackers, there is like different type of warfare, you know. So what if something just collapse, or if we abusing Earth to the point that all the server will switch off because no more electricity, or if there is a nation who wants to dominate every, you know. I mean, this can happen basically. So what we're going to do if we don't have iPhone, no network, no computer? You know, you have to be able to return to basics, create stuff, find food, know how to heal yourself. So doctors, chef, bakers, plumbers, I have a lot of things, like electrician. It's very important because how do you do electricity if you don't know how, you know, what's plus, what minus, what's the red wire goes to the blue wire, whatever, you know? It's important to know that. And I have very high respect for normal people that are not famous, that doesn't make billions, doesn't, you know, inspire everyone, but they're here every day to fix whatever doesn't work in the society. This thing is very useful. They will always be useful. Like even lawyers, for example. If there is no, like, if there is no more like society, do you think we need people in finance and banker and lawyer and insurance? And I think we'll need more the people who can cook, people who can bake, people who can build houses and protect, create weapons to protect, create walls to secure it. And we don't respect those jobs at all, you know? So there's also the switch that I went through. I was into the higher sphere of, you know, selling and like developing the vision. But now I'm more like closer to the ground, you know, for the reality of like how to help people. Because now those people, they come to me sometime. Yeah. Tell me, okay, my life doesn't make sense. I have no purpose. My health is very bad. I don't know why I'm going to say, yeah. Because you forget the essential and the fundamentals, which is connecting with the ground, connecting with yourself, finding a partner, something that make you happy in life. Work. If you look back, then you'll not get this time back. You know, you have to do something that make you happy, that make you grow, that develop you, that make you learn. Every day you have to learn something, even small thing, even one word in new language. I don't know. Some stuff. I mean, it can also be in your interest. I mean, you can learn how to code, how to, you know, improve your prompt for AI. But you have to learn something. It's very, very unstimulating for the brain development if you just focus on figures, work. It's beyond what we call the work-life balance. Yeah. This is a creation to justify that we have to work so much. I don't believe in that. I think work, and you see in country like UAE, for example, they start, I believe in Sharjah, reducing the scope. Instead of 5 days, they make it 4 days now. So they're giving like half Friday or full Friday. This is good. It's reminding humanity that we're not just here to produce and consume. We're here to create, to love, to connect. I don't forget that, really.
I love that.
Otherwise life will be sad. Life is very short, huh?
It is.
Turning 40, it's getting shorter.
But yeah, I mean, you are such a great advocate for the many first and the explorer lifestyle, right? So
I made it my life. You know?
Yeah, and it's also, you have children. You see that probably in children, right? There's many, I mean, children are explorer. Is that also something that inspires you? You say we there's more than work. We are here to love, to connect. Is that what you mainly find in your family? And
the best yoga teachers are kids. So we were all kids. So we born with yoga. Look at the kids. Look at the kids. They're super flexible. They put the leg behind the neck.
True.
They have something that we lose. Contemplation. Any kid, especially when they drink the bottle or they've been breastfed, or even like after being, you know, like full, they usually collapse and they look at something for hours, and they like look at the sky, and they're building something. This is meditation. This is purely meditation.
Wow.
The art of doing nothing. So we're losing the contemplation. Every kid has contemplation. Every kid. So we're born with this, and we're going away from that. So yeah, the best yoga instructors ever are the babies, the kids, and after they start losing because they have to fit into the society and work, do your homework, and then do your sports. Like even sport, they don't do sport because they love it. They do sport because they have to do sport. They have to learn something. It's not even like it's a lot of pressure. I think it's a lot of pressure for kids. I mean, pretty much in every country is different, but yeah, to answer your question, yes. Every time I look at my kids, I can see the fundamental of yoga, and I'm like as an adult, we are the one losing ourselves, not the kids. So the kids, they have no bad intention. I mean, before a certain age, when they start actually being corrupted, but like any kids, so what they do all day, they want to draw, they want to play, they want to discover. They don't even want to eat, usually the parents say, you have to eat, otherwise, See, so they eat when they're hungry, that they don't follow, like, I have to eat in the morning, I mean, I really sound like those people who are like at the margin of society. I'm not at all. My kids go to school, we do the vaccination, we go through all the normal process, but with balance, and we know what we do and why we do it. It's just the little difference. I would say I am in a highest level of consciousness since I'm doing yoga than me before, and then many people that look like a bit like robots, soulless, that do the same thing and do the same mistake over again, and then we see the result, like cancer, disease, mental breakdown, mental health, depression. So I'm trying to stay away from that by doing things with some mindfulness into the action,
And your own meditation practice has helped with that, I would assume, right?
Definitely.
You also,
we were all meditating before a smartphone, but we forget about that. We were going to the toilet for the number 2 with no books, no iPhone. What you doing? Nothing. You're just waiting for the nature to process.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's not like a shaming,
Are you saying you're going to the toilet with your phone?
Everyone, me too, of course, because now I'm working.
Yeah.
So I necessarily need to check, what this, what that.
To sit down and take a break.
Like everyone, I'm going on Facebook.
Time.
I'm going. See, I'm old now. I'm going on Facebook. Don't have Snapchat. No, but this is the sad reality somehow. And we enjoy it, and everything. It's done to make us enjoy. All the algorithms, they feed our brain for whatever we think. I don't know. I think everyone experienced that. You think about Apple. You open your phone. First thing is Apple. Whoa. Then after 15 minutes or maybe more, some people, they scroll for hours. They end up into a tutorial how to cut the hair of a giraffe and things like you never need in your life. And you're like, what am I doing here? Then you look at the time, it's already days gone. No, it's very, very powerful. So you have to be careful. So just monitor everything,
Yeah.
At time things.
I would also like to touch on one of your statements where you said every inhale is a blessing, which I can very much understand, because as long as we inhale, we're alive, right?
Exactly.
And the exhale is a healing, right? You said. Okay, could you elaborate on that a bit? So
thank you for asking. This is my mantra. I think this is what I understood from yoga.
Yeah.
So every inhale is a blessing. First, because we're alive and we stay alive, we're healthy. We are together, usually, like when you do in a class, because this is like something I said to my student. Every inhale, it's a new chance to be grateful to the universe, to God, according to your belief, because it's like the breath of life. It's like bringing oxygen to your body, to yourself, to your brain, so it's
abundance also.
Exactly.
Right?
It's abundance, it's happiness, it's being grateful, so every inhale is a blessing. There's so many blessings into one inhale. We have to notice it, because it's sad not to notice it. So now the exhale. When you exhale, you let go air, but you also can go trauma, stress, sickness, all the negative emotion, like fears, guilt, anger, a lot of anger. How you calm down when you're angry? Exhaling. Okay. Okay, now I feel better. Everything. So all the pressure, all the tension. So we have two things in Systema, basically. We have, and in yoga too, we have the body tensions that can be released when you exhale, through yoga, through massage, through, but the first healing is exhaling. Yeah. The first healing. And you have the stress of the mind. So also when you're very stressed, and the first thing you do, like, okay, I try to calm down. So exhaling is healing. Inhaling is blessings. Exhaling is healing. I can speak, I mean, you can spend whole podcasts me explaining these two things. It's so rich and deep, and and you can
I would love to.
I can come back from the podcast, but yeah, it's I'm actually even thinking to write a book on that, like just 2 chapters, inhale, exhale. It's everything. It's life. It's presence. It's communication. The first communication is before we voice it. Like the emotion of someone. The emotion state, the mental state of someone just by the length of inhalation. Exactly. If someone is peace. If someone is good. If someone is calm.
Or if you feel someone
nothing,
is not breathing.
Yes, yeah. If you're not begging, call 911. Then it's really gonna die. But no, and if you don't breathe, you die. So it's like life is breath.
Yeah.
That's why breathwork is
connection also, right?
Yeah. Like we see like breathwork. A lot of people say, yoga is boring and breathwork is boring. I mean, this is the fundamental. You control your breath. You control your emotions. You control your emotions. You control your decision. You control your decision. You control your life. So it's not just I breathe, I exist. No, this is BS.
Deep.
You control your life. Tell me anything in your life that you did out of anger that you're happy with. 0. Anger is the worst advisor. So, of course, go get upset and go scream at people. Yeah, of course. Now breathe, let the anger go, and have clarity in your mind. Breath is clarity of your decision. Breath is like temperance, consciousness, calm. And it's the deepest function. You can actually control your breath to the very single details of range, of depth, of speed, you can hold your breath. We don't hold breath. Look at the divers. They hold breath for like 10 minutes. 10 minutes you hold your breath. 20 seconds, you're going to turn red, blue. So we're not using it the right way. We can control the inhale, we can control the exhale. I always tell people, student and on my talk, you focus on the exhale. Don't focus on the inhale. Inhale is perfectly automatic. Even if I ask you to do 20 exhale, you'll be able to do it because you inhale in between, you don't even notice.
Yeah, true.
This is what keeps you alive when you sleep.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll be dying, not sleeping. So inhale, it's absolutely automatic. I mean, of course, you can decide to take control, but to start, focus on the exhale. Always. This is advice I give to everyone.
Yes.
Not my first advice, but for you to try for the first time, focus on every exhale. When you fight, when you get hit, you exhale. When you hit, you exhale. When you fall, you exhale. Simple. If you inhale when you get hit, rib cage is open, you can crack your rib, break, perforation of the lungs, whatever. If you inhale when you fall, you're going to break everything. Now, if you exhale when you fall, nothing can really break because you're so soft. That's why drunk people, when they fall, they never hurt themselves. See what I mean? They don't have this fear of conscience, so they don't inhale. First thing when you have fears, you inhale and you hold. If I attack you right now, you're going to do...
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to wait for the impact, you know what I mean? No, if you train, the first thing you're going to try to let go everything. So whatever impact, falling, whatever, nothing will happen. Control your breath, control your exhale. You control pretty much your life. Really, it's very important.
It's such a powerful message. Thank you for that. And is that from self-defense also that you mentioned there with the...
Yeah, it's from self-defense, but anything. Look, any sport, any athlete, they focus on breathing. Even Ronaldo, when he shoot, he shoot at a special... I don't know if he's excelling or... Probably I think he's excelling. But if you do handstand, for example, or if you're an acrobat, or you manage your balance because you manage your breath. If you do handstand and you hold, you're going to fall on the other side. So you have to excel. You have to make your body light and solidly grounded, you know. So you need exhale for that. And your inhale is very minor. Because if you inhale too much, you're going to expand your rib cage and you're going to change your alignment and you're going to fall. So fighting, let's say combat and handstand for me is the two things that I identify for us not to be able to lie to ourselves. We can only lie to ourselves. Like, I'm the best, I can do that, I know this. This is lies. Even when you do martial arts, you have blue belt, black belt, five. If you get attacked in the street, no one cares about your past. No one cares how many belts you have, what you did. There's one simple equation. He's punching you, you have to deal with that. Either you deal with that, either you don't. But you know, there's no gray, you know? White or black. You do handstand, either you balance, either you fall. There's absolutely no space for subjective negotiations. You fight, so either you manage your breath because you manage your fear and then you can survive, either you balance because you do a handstand, either you don't. I think it's a Turkish quote, you cannot be half pregnant. This is really the essence of it, yeah. And by breathing, you can actually decide if you want to hold or fall, even balance or fall, or if you want to go home safe or be the one on the floor. Yeah, no, so it's really these two things. I'm sure there is others that haven't explored yet, you know. But this, through my experience, fighting, real fighting, and we'll say combat, and to make it more polite, like combat and arm balancing handstand, it's really, really good for your mind, for your brain, for your mindset, for your fear management. And you take everything you learn from that, everything out there in the office, with your family, with the relationship, with yourself, how you treat yourself. You know, it's very, very important.
Yeah, also for self-trust and confidence, right? If you know, hey, the breath, you have it always with you. It's not that you can forget it at home. It's always with you. It's like free. Your best friend. It's free, exactly.
So far,
it's natural, maybe it's healthy.
It's healthy. Maybe one day they will charge like for water. I don't know, but yeah, it's supposed to be free still. It's everywhere. You don't need any good luck thing or any technique, any bag, you know?
Yeah. So powerful. And we're not teaching it in schools. Yeah.
Oh, the day they will teach yoga and breathwork in school, I think will it means society, it's healing. I don't think, unfortunately, it will come tomorrow. Really. Like even all the Montessori, all the special, you know, for high potential school, they don't even integrate this, which is stupid. I believe we should integrate medicine. It's very important to know how to heal. Breathwork, not even yoga, just breathwork. Because there's gymnastics, this is fine. I mean, any physical activity is good. You know, don't need specifically to be yoga, you know, to be honest. But meditation, breathwork, big progress.
Yeah, and as you said, so old, right? So it's such an ancient practice, wisdom, science. Yeah,
it's old individually. The first thing you do when you go out of your mother's belly is to breathe. You cry, yes, breath is burning because you used to breathe water before, you know.
True.
Like the placenta. Now you breathe air, so it's burning. That's why you say the baby cry, because first time that the oxygen goes to the lungs. You know? And I mean, breathwork have been used as a science, I will say, since the Vedas, which are like 7,000 years before the Christ, you know, like 4,000 before the Egyptians.
Yeah.
A couple of naked yogis on top of the Himalaya try to understand who they are, what they're doing here, you know. So they start actually developing this, and then they discover that the breath can change the moods, and they can activate what they call chakra, what we call today endocrine system, hormones, you know. It's a lot of self-exploration, you know. But I don't know when this happened for the first time. But yeah, but technically we're here to explore. The problem is, like, the more the society grow, the less we explore. The more we have to make a choice. You want to be this or this or that. You want to go to this school, these things. You want to live in this country. So the problem is, like, too much choice sometimes, it's a trap. You know what I mean? Like, so when let's say you born a farmer into the 20s, you have no options, you know what I mean? But you explore. Your life is about exploring yourself. You have time. You have nothing else to do. You know? You work so you can eat, so you can, you know, like carry on all the family property or whatever. Take care of the animals. Take care of the food, of the plant, of the sky. So you're super connected. Now you're born. You want to be a lawyer or work in finance? What you want to do? You want to make money? That's most important. You have to make money. So how you can make money? Are you good in football? No. Okay. Are you good in music? No, not very good. Are you good in okay? So go finance. At least, even if you're not that good, you still can manage, you know, or real estate. So it's a different perception now. We create kids to make them perform, so they can carry on society. Man, I sound like you know, all these guys who are like against society. I'm not against anything. I just like look at things the way they are, you know. And unfortunately, it's more like conditioning than encouragement of exploring and self-discovery, you know.
That's why we need people who remind us, like you.
As I'm trying to humbly do in my, you know, my work, impacting people, for them just to think and change, like I did change. You know?
Just two more. If you're good, too short, good with time. Are you okay if I ask you two brief ones? Yeah, you mentioned that you were thinking about writing a book about the breathing. Yeah. You wrote a book already, which is called Guru.
Guru, yeah.
Just very briefly, that experience for you, and what is it about?
Yeah, it's a conversation. It's very, I didn't plan to write it. It's coming from my co-writer, Regula. She was one of my students. She had to deal with grief on a personal level. So she's coming to my class every day for a year without talking to me. One day she talked to me and she asked me to help her finishing one of her book that she was on. I told her, okay, but in exchange, I want you to help me make a book. So I didn't really know. I didn't have much time because I was really into acquisition of knowledge in yoga and starting my career. So we just decided to see each other every Wednesday afternoon for like a year, just to have conversations. And every time she was coming with topic, happiness, fatherhood, guilt, purpose. And back in the days, I was giving my opinion and what I've learned from yoga. Probably now it will be slightly different, because there's more maturity. It's already 5 years, 6 years. Yeah, evolution.
Yeah.
And and that's it. So we did a very humble book with some, I think, good common sense, dealing with 10 chapters, which are the chapters that we actually discuss. So it's more like a conversation. And I have 2 or 3 books that I started, that I'm working on it according to my inspiration. And one of them is this one, every inhale is a blessing, every exhale is a healing.
A blessing?
Every inhale is a blessing, every exhale is a healing.
Which
has to do with like breathwork as well.
Yeah. No, it sits with me since I read it. It's like, now to wrap up here.
I have a book for you. It's in the car. I should have taken it. We'll go. I'm gonna sign it for you.
Oh, thank you. Of course. That's I'm super curious. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
Your necklaces are also your brand, I think, right? You're walking around mostly with them.
You mean like personal brand? Yeah, like a part of my character. Yeah.
I'm wondering. Yeah. So it's basically a question. But do you wear them for specific purposes or basically all the time? And how did they come into your life?
This is called malas. Malas means necklace, basically. It's like meditation beads. And they're made of rudraksha. So it's always a little bit complicated to explain what it is exactly. It's kind of like a cherry that grows into specific part in India. This one's coming from Nepal. This one have been collected more than 200 years ago. This is very old, like maybe 200 plus. So they are very special. The best who's speaking about it is actually like I encourage everyone to go. It's Sadhguru on YouTube. He actually has a video who he explaining what is the meaning into the Hinduism. This is called the Tears of Shiva. It's very strong into like some parts of the Hinduism beliefs, on the mythological aspect, but also on the religious aspect. I use it as a meditation tools, and now it doesn't go away from me. I wear them every day. It's a part of my branding now. It took me because I love my student asking me how can I get mine, because they're quite rare to have them into this size, and especially this is 5 and 6 mukis, which is the number of lines that you have in it. So you see this one is much brighter because this is more recent, maybe 50 years. And there's a lot of fake online. You can see if you watch Rudrakaya, like small ones, they're usually made of plastic. It's not brilliant. This is a real one, original. It took me 6 years to find the sourcing of those ones. This is a gift from my teacher, who received it of his teacher. And this is the one that I source. And yeah, I'm actually selling them as well, but in very small quantity. It's extremely expensive. Like people are surprised. Things like 100 like dirham, but it's usually like $3,000-4,000. It's a pretty good price. I'm not promoting. I'm just explaining, because some of the Rudrak, just one seed, original one with like either 1 mukis to 20 mukis, it can go over like $15,000 or something like that. So it's a precious natural artifact, So it's like jewelry from nature. And you can use it as a jewelry. You can meditate with them. It's very hard to explain for me. It's spiritually very strong. See, in terms of protection, good health. When I meditate, I can feel them warming up even sometimes, which is crazy. Yeah, and it's part of my branding now. It's like I feel naked when I don't have when I wear them.
Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else you would like to share before we close?
No, I'm very happy to share. See, this podcast is a bit different of all the other podcasts because every time I speak about my past and how I made it until here somehow, what I like here is like we could dig a little deeper into some of the philosophy behind my character, behind Allaoua Yoga, and philosophy that I share humbly with my student. Happy because we speak about managing anger, and we actually we give very, very, very valuable gifts about breathing, about trying to
everyone.
Go back to some fundamentals and balancing, life with past and present, just to find your space. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for all you shared with us and the gifts you gave us. And I think we were mostly in the present, which is nice. Feels nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Allaoua.
Namaste.
Thanks, everyone. If you liked today's episode, it would mean the world to us if you like it. Share it with anyone who could need a boost in courage and exploration. And we would also love to hear from you. What are your reflections and your next explorations? Share them with us in the comments. And let's keep creating intentional, powerful firsts together. And we'll see you next first time. Until then, much love and courage. Ciao.